What's up, everybody? I just finished exercising and I think I might be dying. Let's get into today's episode. We are working on Kentucky Route Zero, Act 3 and Act 4. So Act 3, here and there along the Echo, the entertainment. The entertainment is Act 3. Hello? There we go. I think we're in a bar, or at least a makeshift bar. Barfly sits alone at a table with two glasses, one empty. Barfly examines empty glass, examines full glass, looks at ashtray. Blows gently with pursed lips, observes ash configuration. Coughs, swipe nose with sleeve. At length inspects sleeve. Why is there a brick sandwich? Remember something trivial about the prior evening. Looks up suddenly. That was cool. It's cool in here. Yep. Like Babylon outside. GD, you're right. Well, cool in here. It's an oasis. I wonder how Ted's holding up. AC. Down there they all have it. Sure, you're right. I've never been to Texas. Oh, sure. They all have AC. Too cold, almost. In July, even. He's got a hotel. Yeah, hotel life. That's living. Maybe too much. I mean, what's to stop him, really? Meet some tall thing at a hotel bar? Nah. Ted's a good man. Nah, I know. He wouldn't. Run around. You're right. How about a beer? No beer today. Hard Times whiskey. That's all you've got? It's a good whiskey. Local. Yeah. You take deliveries from him? Sure. You ever see one of them? Boys from Hard Times? What? I heard they're strange. They work hard. They make a good whiskey. Who are we to judge? Sure, who are we? No one of consequence. What's all this? Bread for? Sandwiches. Rain's Law. Ha. The old ones went bad while you were on vacation. You have a good time while the sandwiches rot. Oh, you know me. Couldn't shut it off. 7 days on a beach and all I could think about was work. You know, new kitchen. Maybe hire a hostess, you know? A hostess? At the lower depths? Crazy. Nah. It's not so crazy. I was in a bar down there in New Orleans. They had a hostess, some dive. She seats you and, I don't know, points out the specials. Could have specials every night in here. Drink specials. You make cocktails? Nah. Food specials. Monday night chicken. I don't know, grilled chicken. Caesar salad. Class it up, you know? Bess would have liked it. Here's to Bess. Yeah, yeah. Let me grab a here's to Bess. Good Christian woman. Good Christian woman. How about that sod in the corner? Not bothering nobody. Been here long? Soon as I open. Got started a bit earlier, I suspect. On a bender, huh? Sleeping in a ditch or something? You don't think... maybe Ted? Nah. Ted's a good man. Honest. Well-liked. He's liked, but he's well-liked. Sales is a good fit. Selling hammers. Can you believe it? Somebody has to. The hammers. They don't sell themselves. Hear, hear. It's just hard. Ted on the road. It's tough all over. What to do all day? Come here, I guess. Sure. That's what I do. Cheap drinks, conversation, entertainment. Sure. What's tonight? Oh, tonight it's, oh, Junebug. I'll stay for that. I need some music, get my mind off Ted. Something romantic, you know? A love song from when the world was young. What time? Around 8, maybe. Well, set him up slow, or I'll sleep right through it. Wakefield Stuns and Entertainment. Premiere at Buffalo Street Student Theater was a curiosity. 2 obscure plays by a local author. Were simultaneously presented for the pleasure of a handful of baffled patrons. The result, an absorbing, if unfocused, drama about the ills of debt and dishonesty. Certainly, the highlight is Sarah Wakefield's performance as Pearl Slade, the young woman who tries to rid herself of her parents' debts. She is a revelation. Sadly, her verve and imagination do little to salvage the tepid pantomime of the barfly, a character who perhaps could have done with a few lines after all. Levi Tolbert, Kentucky Post. Currency considers possibility of escape. Pretends to read, encounters troubling headline, bites lip, pretends to inspect newspaper photograph, recognizes neighbor, pictured left, averts eyes, makes mental checklist for planned exit, adjusts position, prepares to bolt, remembers half full drink. Pauses, sighs, relaxes shoulders. Is that everything? Sound cues. Set designer's notes. Doolittle must have been an odd bird. Many playwrights, Tennessee William or Eugene O'Neill, spend as much energy or on precise descriptions of the play set as they do on any of the dialogue, so my job is finding ways to be creative within constraint. But Doolittle only describes settings poetically. To be honest, I think he'd have preferred there wasn't a set at all. Well, here I am, building one anyway. Serves him right for disappearing all those years ago, the enigmatic wino. I don't mind a drunk, but I hate riddles. Lula Chamberlain. Put it back on that weird dinosaur show, will you? Nah, those history programs don't make any sense. I prefer the nature programs. I think they can just say anything on TV. I don't believe there to be a damn word in the Bible about dinosaurs on the Ark. Been a long time since Sunday school for me. Do you go to church, though? Nah, not since Bess. It was her church, really. Good Christian woman. Good Christian woman. Well, I'm curious to see where they're going with it. They've got you now. I just think they're gonna run out of rope before long. Dinosaurs on the Ark. I prefer the nature programs. Yeah. So, your vacation was good? 7 days poolside. Thought you said it was a beach. Oh, sure. No, it was a pool. Was it a pool? Or a beach? Maybe. I don't remember. Weird. Weird. You think I'm making this up? Oh, no, Hi, Harry. Are the old folks here? Just me and Evelyn. All morning. Hi, Evelyn. And that sot in the corner. You're early, Pearl. Parents usually don't roll in until, evening, 5 or 6. Everything alright? Oh, sure, thanks. We just have some stuff to talk about. We'll post up here. Let's watch this weird dinosaur show. I'll stand you a drink. All Harry's pouring today is Hard Times whiskey. That all you get? They make a good whiskey. Sure, but you know the rumors. Rumors are rumors. Put it on my tab. You driving, Pearl? Oh God, no. You know they want almost 40 cents a gallon. Ooh. I had the early shift, so I just walked over. In this heat? You still working over there at Ace Jewelry and Loan? Joe Harden, proudly trading shortcuts for dignity 6 days a week since 1962. At least they have the piety to shut down on Sunday. With Joe, it's more likely a hangover. Can it be both? Well, I know you see more trade than I do. Must be slow over at the hardware store. Slow isn't the word. And now Ted is out. shilling for quality hammers to make up income. Have you considered quality hammers on your shelf? You made the switch recently and business has tripled. Well, of course. I'd love to have dinner with your lovely daughters. Evelyn. Hey, a man gets lonely out on the road. I know how it is. Nah. Harry, you've been traveling, right? Sure, yeah. Down in New Orleans, just taking a break. Vacation. Looking around for ideas. Tell her about the pool or the beach. Evelyn. Sounds nice. And the hostess. I may just cut you off. So, the pool or the beach? Yeah, Harry. Which was it? Well, it was a week of relaxation, and now I'm back. You still look, stressed. If you don't mind me saying. Yeah. He just looks like that. Sure. It's just how I look. I've never known you to leave town, Harry. I've never known you to leave this bar. Oh, no, I get out. You still drive that, old truck? I don't know. I think they towed it eventually. The hell you say? That must have been years ago, Harry. How do you get around now? I take the bus or I walk. You walk to New Orleans? Watch it, Evelyn. I didn't mean nothing by it, Harry. Harry, did you really go to New Orleans? Now, just where do you two get off? Sorry, forget it. Sure, she didn't mean nothing by it. We'll lay off you and get back to drinking. Gotta be ready for the entertainment. Oh, who's on tonight? Tonight it's Junebug. Works for me. Round 8, I think. I'll stick around. I could use some sad music. I came here to break some hearts. What's that? To dash dreams. What are you talking about? Gotta talk to my parents about their bar tab. I won't be paying for them anymore. Hang on now. Now, it's time to cut the old folks loose and head west. I can't keep enabling them. You know? A debt's a debt now. Harry, I'm sorry. I know you've got a vested interest, and I don't want to make a victim of you. They'll come up with it somehow. I'm sure. No, it's not that. The thing about debts is you never know when they'll be reckoned and called in. What's that mean? I'm not saying anything, but I know Dead Harry. I see it all day. It's all around me, like a thick gray fog. It's in the air I breathe. At the pawn shop, they have a new financial technology. I'm the ambassador. Did you know that? A new technology. It's a new kind of debt, Evelyn. And it's a mess. What do you mean? A new kind of debt. You know what we do at the pawn shop? Secured loans. We don't buy used goods. We take personal property as collateral on a loan. Then, if you don't pay your loan, we sell your stuff. Sure, I get that. It works for people who couldn't get loans otherwise. I guess. Now, Hardin has this new idea. He calls it a payday advance. But it's just a short-term unsecured loan with a wicked interest rate. There's no filtering. Most who borrow can't keep up. Then he has this big pile of debts with big returns on paper. And he can sell those debts to a bank. Huh. Who's borrowing like that? Who do you think? When Joe put me in charge of it, the only dark-skinned clerk in the whole shop. You think so? I know it. Don't you see? I look just like you. You can trust me. But Joe knows they won't pay on time. There's no money in lending, but there's money in usury. That's in the Bible. I won't be a shill. Just have to save a bit more and then go to California. I'll be a real clerk at a credit union or something. Something ethical. I just have to get rid of these old parasites first. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. Well, my tab is in good shape, I think. You're behind too. Not as bad as Slade's, but... Well, Harry, the only thing I owe you is a handshake. And this whiskey you're about to pour me. Let's say this one's on me, Pearl. Nah, I'm good for it. For today, let's just say it's on me. You're awfully strict about cash for a guy who just got back from a vacation. Drink up, Evelyn. Maybe you'd better find some other chair to sink into so your debts don't get reckoned out from under you. I'm out for a bit. I'll be back later to disappoint a couple of old deadbeats. I'll stay for the entertainment. I won't throw you out. And just remember what I said. Anything else I can do? Management material. That's what he said. Is that so? 11 years behind a supermarket till. You're damn right. Damn right. I have commitment and reliability. That's what he said, management material. I bet they raise you to $3. I bet $4. Responsibility. Whew. You see Pearl today? She was working all day, I think. Usually doesn't work mornings. The Slade women are all getting promoted. I think they just put her on another shift. What's the morning shift like at a pawn shop? Do you think? Black coffee and desperation. Let's celebrate. Harry. Another round. We're celebrating 2 promotions in the family. You talked to Pearl today? She worked all day. She was here earlier. Looking for you two. She'll be back. Why don't you just pace yourselves till you talk to her? We're celebrating. Pace yourselves, or pay your bill. Why are you so stuck on a bill all of a sudden? Are you sunstruck? Sure, you know, it's twice as bright when you get the ocean and the pool both reflecting at you. Evelyn. You catch sights of any alligators? Sure, it was gators. Everywhere. A swamp. Big sandy swamp. With a pool and a hostess. What's that? Set him up, Harry. Junebug will be here any minute. And we want to be receptive. Alright. But I keep track. There will be a reckoning. You folks hear about the reckoning? First I've heard. What's that, Harry? Short on your bills? Let the books get away from you? That's an ignorant thing to say. Been doing my books for 10 years. Keeping this place alive all on my own. Ever since Bess. I ought to just let you run that tab up until you drink yourselves underground. Nah, he didn't mean nothing by it, Harry. Yeah, Harry. You know I'm only joking. Sure, I know. I know you're joking. All right. Let's drink. Oh. I better slow down. Hard Times whiskey comes on strong. Don't want to end up like that. Boiled Al in the corner. I can't tell anymore. I hear they have some secret ingredients. Or a secret process or something. Something's in the wood they age it in. Yeah, something. Something strange in that wood. Drink up, Larry. Don't call me Larry. It sounds like an old man. All right, Silver Fox. Now you. I'll let it slide. Another? Well, I don't get paid until Friday. And I haven't seen Pearl all day. She can pick it up when she comes back. Don't count on it. What the hell kind of thing to say is that? Our own daughter. Generosities have limits. I don't know what she said, but the Slades are good for it. This family takes care of our own. Sure, we'll get it. Straightened out when she comes back. Better get here soon. She'll miss the entertainment. Shouldn't Junebug be here now, Harry? Yep. That's what you get working with artists. Good entertainment, but it's always late. This is pretty late, though. We'll stick around. We're celebrating. Sure. Yeah, not expecting a late night sentimental call. And if he does, let it ring. The philanderer. Last drink, Evelyn? One more, Harry. I just want to hear some music. Well, she'd better show up soon. Another scene change. Here's the exit. There's Pearl. Writer's notes. Many in the audience consider leaving. If anyone leaves, let them leave. The theater is not a prison. If anyone coughs, cough also. The theater is not a sickbed. We minister to the audience. We revere the pains of the audience. Lem Doolittle. Sound cues. I love this song. I've never heard it. It's a love song. It's a Valentine. Sure. Ever been in love? Nope. Me neither. Well, there's Ted. Son of a bitch. Evelyn. You love Ted, right? He's a son of a bitch. Out on the road. Selling hammers and hammering shop girls. You know he isn't. Well, I wish he would. You don't mean that. Sure. I don't mean that. He's a son of a bitch. But you have to stick by your family. Sometimes, if it kills you. Do you? Why? You just have to. Why? I love this song. What if they're better off without us? My folks could get better with money. Ted could, I don't know, meet someone new. He wouldn't. He's a good man. Would you? All I want is to be free of parasites. Keep my own money, pay my own debts. Don't be a fool. Buy me a drink. What do you want? I want to run a hardware store with my dear husband. Evelyn. I want a whiskey. That's all you want? And a love song. She could have said, sure. Pearl, you could have said something. I shouldn't have to. say anything, Dad. Letting us just sit and soak up a debt. We're celebrating. Pearl, it's supposed to be a celebration. Don't you know the news? Larry, drop it. So celebrate. I'm not stopping you. But I'm not paying for it. Your mother's going to be a manager. So put a manager's salary on that tab. It's not... Sure. They said she's management material. What kind of material are you, Pearl? Maybe. He said maybe. I'm made of sweat and blood and beer. Just like he raised me. It's a damn strange thing to say. Sure, my hands are cut up, but you're a loan clerk. And your mother is a manager at a supermarket. Damn it, Lawrence. It's not settled. Not settled. O'Neill just handed you a promotion. Why can't you celebrate? Rosa, what did he say to you? Remember what he said to you? He said, didn't he? He said, maybe eventually. Maybe eventually. Maybe eventually, management material. Keep your chin up. Maybe eventually. Sooner or later, keep your chin up. How's that, Dad? Enough. You can still settle. It'll just take longer. I should look again. Just sit with me. Larry. Let's just wait for the music. Get away from the awfulness. Sure. We can celebrate. Sure. Slade women are moving up. Eventually. If she's this late, she's not coming. Where's Junebug? Where's the entertainment? I said, if she's this late, she's not coming. She always shows up. I've got nothing better to do. You gonna settle? Up first? Don't be a fool. Watch it. I'll buy you a drink. How about, water, Evelyn? And maybe call it a night? What time is it? I love this song. It's relaxing. Like the sun by the pool, on a beach full of gators. God damn it, Evelyn. Harry, your language. What would Bess think? Good Christian woman. God damn it, who cares? If I did or didn't go to New Orleans. She didn't mean anything by it. Maybe I just sat here alone in the dark. Would you like that, Evelyn? That what you want to hear? Watch nature programs in the dark? Just me and the deer, and the gators, and the goddamn dinosaurs. It was Harry's Ark, Evelyn, 2 by 2. Out of the flood and into the poorhouse. She's just drunk. All on my dime. Well, there's going to be a reckoning. All of you. Just stick around and you'll see. What are you talking about, Harry? What reckoning? I want to hear. Another love song. Where's Junebug? I hope she never shows up. I can't pay her. The money's run out. What's that? It's gone. Money's all gone. I let you sponges soak up so many free drinks, now I can't even stock the whiskey without striking a deal. No more whiskey? Harry, what kind of deal? It doesn't matter. You can't blame us. Harry, we're just a little short from time to time. Sure. Just leave, Pearl. Just trust me. Okay. I'm leaving. Are you sure? I'm sure. You don't deserve this. All I want is a love song. And a whiskey. You'll have plenty of time for whiskey. I just want to be left alone. That man is like a straitjacket. I know, Evelyn. If only he'd meet some tall young thing on the road. I know. 11 years behind a supermarket till. Keep your chin up. Rosa, eventually. Maybe. Maybe eventually. Now, you all should clear out. Where would we go? Just let us wait. Let us wait for Junebug. We're good for it. We just want to have a few drinks. See the entertainment, then we'll go home. You don't understand. Sure. We know you're struggling. We're all struggling. Harry, you said you have a deal, right? God damn it. You don't understand me. Harry, your language. What's to understand? We'll settle our debt soon. Rose is in line for this promotion. All they want is debt. They feed on it. They put it in the whiskey. What? What the hell are you saying? He'll be here soon. The boy from Hard Times. There will be reckoning. Harry, our debt's not to the distillery. It is now. I traded it. I sold it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. 83 and sunny now. Looks like it's going to get up to about 101 by late afternoon in Louisville, and 103 in E-Town. Not a cloud in sight, so get out those parasols, haha. Major accident just ahead of the Bardstown exit, so if you're headed to work on 31, you are late, my friend, haha. Sugar? Just a little. I forgot how you take your coffee. I'm tired. I didn't sleep well. I heard you yelling. Bad dreams? We were up on a roof, Ira and I, and Charlie, eating a light supper. I was drinking sweet tea. Charlie was reading. We were surrounded by other houses, closely packed, huge sidewalks. It must have been a... what's that word? Subdivision? That's it, I'm sure. Below us, a group of people were gathered, standing quietly. A man was reading from a book. I asked Ira about the weather. Would it rain on Tuesday, or when would the sun set? Something like that. He wouldn't answer me. Charlie stood up, and Ira told him to watch his step, and then I remembered. I woke up before I could stop him. I always told him to test each tile with the heel first. If it's a heel, you can kick it back and still put your toe on something solid when the tile slips. I remember your lessons. He just wanted to study his, what was it called? Astronomy? That's it. How could I forget? It wasn't his fault. It wasn't anyone's fault, Conway. That's what we mean when we say it's tragedy. Sure. Well, we have a mail order delivery today. Might be a long drive. I hope the truck can hold up. They sent it in by mail? Maybe just Shudden. I don't recognize the address. The order is all... I'm sure we can fill it. Guess that'll be the last. I guess it will be. The last act of Lizette's Antiques. The... oh, what's the word? Finale. Maybe. No, that's not the word. I just need to think a bit. More coffee or something. Or I've had too much. It'll come to you. Maybe. I'm not sure anymore. It seems inevitable there will start to be words that I lose forever. What are those boxes you said in the hallway? Those are Charlie's old books. Oh. I thought we could look at them together. That sounds nice. Cora should be here soon. Will you wait with me? Sure, Liz. I'll wait with you. There's your traffic and weather on the fives. That's every 10 minutes, brought to you by the Consolidated Power Company. Stick around for Old Kentucky Home with Kate, helping you turn your humble home into a mansion after this. But that's only if you make a late payment on a follow-up visit. I think everything went well enough here that they'll only want to bill for... Oh, he's awake. How do you feel, old man? All fixed up? Truman says you might be a bit misty coming out of it, so... I was dreaming. That's unlikely. Nirpnol TM is quite powerful. In fact, many patients report a sensation of lost time. Do you feel like you've lost time? I feel fine. Good. Excuse me. How about that leg? How's your leg feeling? Yeah, that's the important part. Conway shifts his leg a bit in the chair, testing it. Well? It was the heat. The shingles were cracked in the sun, and one of them slipped out under his feet. Shingles? What are you talking about? Who slipped? Your thoughts and feelings are probably still a little nebulous from the Nirpnol TM. That's totally normal. It'll pass. I wouldn't recommend driving, at least for another hour or two. Thank you, Doctor. Sure. Let's talk about a few things you should be aware of. Recovery, rehabilitation, and side effects. You should have plenty of resting time coming up soon. Good for you. Vacation or more like unemployment? Well, at your age, I want to be clear. You should expect lingering effects of the injury for more or less the rest of your life. Don't immerse it fully in water. Avoid extremes of temperature. I'd stay away from dusty roads and mountain lions as much as possible. Mountain lions? Good advice in any context. Best thing you can do is keep it clean and free of debris. What do I clean it with? Only clean your leg with a soft cloth, moistened with water or isopropyl alcohol. You'll definitely want to avoid abrasive agents like detergents or other solvents. So, do you have questions? Anything about the bill that didn't make sense? I don't mean to rush you, but we have an early fishing trip. I don't want to think about the bill right now. Sure. Well, you can go over it later. If you have any questions, there's a phone number on the bottom where you can reach the Consolidated Power Company. They handle all the billing. I wouldn't put it off too long if I were you. Oh, one more thing. Don't be alarmed if you experience any side effects of Neuropinol TM. Typically, we see daydreaming, deja vu, pensiveness, fugue states, irregular perception of time. About 15% of patients report a generalized sensation of lateness. Nothing to be alarmed about, just keep it in mind. Thank you for your help. Julian's outside. We can head back to your truck. Act 3, Scene 1. Museum of Dwellings. Again. How are the drugs treating you? Streetlights seem a bit brighter. Oh, like Trails and Tracers? Something like that. My mom used to get that. She had migraines. My folks had a peculiar relationship with medicine. We almost never had a regular doctor or health insurance or anything like that. Our immigration stuff was a mess for most of my childhood, so we only qualified for state programs in small patches before something or other would get contested, and we learned to just pile on dentist appointments and stuff in those short windows. If a cut got infected or her migraines were too much to handle, Mom would talk to so-and-so, who knew so-and-so, usually another minor, ended up with some pills. Instead of medical advice, every pill came with gossipy anecdotal warnings and superstitions, like all this lore that came with it. Like magic, dangerous, mysterious. Weaver's folks couldn't help? Yeah, they had pretty good health care through the university for a while there. A couple times, they'd swing something so I got a bit of whatever Weaver needed. In high school, Weaver got these pills to help her focus. She was so smart, but always going off in different directions, mind racing. Like 5 conversations going on in her head at once, and you're lucky if even one of them is with someone in the room, you know? So she had those pills, and they seemed to help. I was struggling in school, too, failing my history class. She offered to share the pills. Did it help? At first, yeah, it helped a lot. I had a kind presence and clarity of purpose that I've never really had otherwise. I didn't want to stop taking them. One day I was sitting on my bed. My notebook was open next to me on top of a textbook, and I was holding a pen in my hand. I remembered this moment from several years before. It came up so suddenly, with such precision, that I couldn't put it out of my mind. I felt I had to stay with it until I'd recalled the whole thing perfectly. It was just a tiny nothing moment, my mom patching up a side of a bird cage, winding some spare wire around the frame to reinforce it. I was fixated on that image and that sound, the cage kind of bending and twanging as she worked on it, rapping and nodding, scraping copper against paint like a bowing a rubber violin with a railroad tie. My parents came back from a triple shift and found me still sitting there on the edge of the bed, pen in my hand, delirious with thirst, patching that birdcage with a 1,000-yard stare. You get some rest back there? That doctor seemed nice enough. I'm sure he does an okay job. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day of the year except Labor Day. Last admission is at 4 p.m. daily. Damn. Try the door. You're a little late for the museum. And then what? Ben, you're being very uptight right now. You're right, it's unlocked. I'm not sure it's finished in there, though. What's finished? Would it be better if it were finished? Can we be sure of that? This late, you'll wake someone up. Hush, I think I heard a voice. Maybe a security guard? I didn't hear anything. We're just too late. Let's come back tomorrow. Alright, let's go in. If everything's shut down, it'll be pretty boring. Any of you folks know a diner or something around here? What? I said it'll be boring. No, We have flashlights. Look, if we visit by day, we see what they want us to see. If we visit by night, it's all up to us. Emily, Ben, and Bob argue about whether to enter the museum. Where am I going? So, what's the plan here? Head back to the Zero, I guess. I hope these are the right files. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they were what Lula was asking for, but it was kind of a mess in that storage facility. How do we get back there, though? The entrance at the farmhouse was gone. Let's ask at that gas station if he knows another route. Sure. Okay, worth a shot. They have places to go. The truck's engine sputters and dies as Conway guides it carefully off the road next to a fallen tree. That was a quick trip. Act 3, Scene 2. A tree. Nothing to be done? Can you take a look at it? I guess I could poke around in there, but I don't know a damn thing about engines. Wait, is this why you always leave your truck running? Just superstitious. Right. Any other quicks I should know about? Don't name dogs after loved ones. Huh. No Uncle Homer, I guess. Anyway, do you know this area? Anyone around here that could give us a hand? Looks like a road crew's been out here. Hey, we should call someone. Do you know a good towing company? Lucky Boot Collision and Towing. Here's the card. Lucky Boot. Alright, I'll give them a call. I hope I can get a signal out here. Shannon speaks into the large brick cell phone held up to her ear. Hi, hello. We've got an old, I want to say diesel, old truck just stalled out. Arr. Did I wake you? Your card says open 23 hours a day. Arr. Yeah, that's why I'm calling. Exactly. That's all. Arr. No, it's okay. We just need to get to an auto shop and get this taken care of. Arr. Well, I'm very sorry to interrupt that, but... Arr. Right, yeah, thanks. Okay, it's, where are we? We're out off 65, just kind of pulled up by this tree that fell over. That's actually a pretty accurate description of it, yeah. Hanging over the power lines just like that. Did you see it go down? Brr. Okay, whatever you need to do. How long do you think it'll be? Hello? I think they're on their way. Guess we have some time to kill. We could look over the roadmap again. I've stared at that thing too long already. Where'd you get that old map anyway? Found it at the shop. Oh, it's an antique or something. Does it even match reality anymore? I bet there are some old roads on there that are all grown over by now. When my parents brought their first car here, it came with a map. I used to sit in the back and pore over it. Aunt Remedios saw me looking at it, I guess, and a few days later she gave me a map she'd brought from Colombia. It looked almost hand-painted, deep, vibrant colors and rough border lines like anxious brush strokes. Really pretty. I'd slowly trace the coastline with my finger like I was walking on the beach and say, here we'll swim, here we'll start a fire, here we'll find a cave in the cliff face and go live among the bats for a while. I think I'll take a look at that radio of yours. Maybe I can get it going again. No point just standing around. Are you bored? Not yet. Okay. To me, you look a little bored. Let's play a game. What would you like to play? We can tell the future with this little tree branch. It's pretty easy. We just break off all the little sticks on each section and count through the different things that could happen. Okay, what should we ask? It should be about you. I can't do both the counting out and the questions. How will I travel in the future? Ezra snaps the smaller branches away, one at a time, counting out the possibilities. Motorbike, motorboat, horseback, hearse, old truck, new truck. New truck. These other branches are too bare. Don't worry about it too much. It's just a bunch of sticks. How long do you think we'll be waiting here? I don't mind. I have a lot to think about. I guess I always do. I'm a thinker, all right. How's it looking? The leads are badly corroded, but I'm making progress. That's what I like to. That's what I like about working on electronics. It gets easier as you go on. For me, it's just the opposite. Almost there. Where are we staying tonight? Some closet at the bar, I guess. Harry Esperanza's 4-star boom closet experience. Maybe it'd be nice to stay outside of one of these nights, power down just enough to rest, but keep an eye on the stars. Be there when the birds wake up. Sounds romantic. I'm a romantic. Lucky me. How far out are we? I don't know, 20 minutes? Damn. Harry's not going to be happy. You know he doesn't like me anyway. I'll tell him about the frog. He won't understand. Hey, yeah, didn't you play on this record? Go-Go was on it. Yeah, Go-Go. Go-Go. That guy is out of control. We should do a set with him. Only Johnny plays the notes I like. Aw. What time is it? You've got a timing circuit. Yeah, but yours is more accurate. Harry's gonna flip out. That old man was born flipped. I just hope we can scrape up some tips. Hardly enough when you get there on time. Just play that keyboard. I'll figure out the rest. I know. You know, we're already late. Are you going to explain all this to Harry? Oh, no way. You're the smooth talker. In fact, I bet you'd have no problem explaining we had to stop out of the goodness of our nature and check on some wayfaring strangers. Fine. Just for a few minutes, though. You're the best. And hey, maybe if they're not busy, they can fill some seats at the gig. You know, if no one's there, Harry will try and bilk us on our fee. Blah. Maniacs. Are you okay? Got a little dust in my eye. Oh no, here. I think I have some eye drops. They were in a hurry. Where do you think they were headed? What do I think about where they were headed? Sometimes you're pretty abstract. Stay here. Careful, he's wicked with strangers. Heh. You. You didn't have to stop, we've got a tow coming. Hear that, Cricket? We didn't have to stop. Oh? Why'd we stop? That's a good question. These folks seem to have a certain handle on the situation. So... Oh. We thought you were stopping to help. Sure, something like that. Listen, we've got two questions for you folks. What kind of people do you take us for? I mean, how do we strike you? You seem nice enough. What do you think, Cricket? Our generosity is unmistakable, ma'am. It radiates. It does radiate. Now, here's another question for you. Do you like music? Do you like music? Liza, of course you do. Say, they should come to our gig. What an idea. Well, we're waiting for a tow. A tow? I won't hear about it. This time of night, you'll be kicking your heels till dawn. We'll fix your truck up. Me and Johnny are a couple of regular gearheads. Why, I just put a new cylinder block in this baby over here. The Vicious Cycle. That's what we call our bike. We call it the Vicious Cycle. Pretty tough, huh? We'll get you fixed up quick so you can come to the gig. See, we have a regular booking tonight, and, well, we're running late. Very late. That's what I told them. Now, the old man who runs the venue, Harry Esperanza, is a notorious withholder, and if we don't get a few bodies in the crowd, well, he'll go all penny pinching on us. Just a short set. We only have one song prepared. You'll come to the gig, won't you? Of course they will. Can you believe we almost didn't stop? Hungry, old man? I think I've got a crust in the sidecar here. After all, it's so late. Well, it's all said and done. We stopped. That's all that matters. Our gig's at an old tavern called the Lower Depths. It's over there by old Charlie Moran Highway, just east off 65. We usually take a right off the interstate around the petting zoo. Johnny likes the petting zoo. I do like the petting zoo. Now, let's see about that truck of yours. I feel certain we can get it running. Where are we going? East off of 65. There's the burning tree. Petting zoo is closed. Was it right after or right before? There. Act 3, Scene 3. The lower depths. Feels a little like home, huh? It's not all bad memories. Gentler times in a twisted kind of way. Kind of late. Are you sure they're open? Sure, they're open. This is one of those places. Let's head on in. We are not saints, but we've kept our appointment. How many people can boast as much? That's lovely, ma'am. Who said it? A poet. Ma'am, I hate to say it, but the cupboard is bare. Have some vision, Cricket. We've got 1, 2, 4 patrons. Harry doesn't count. Well, we've done more with less. What kind of music do you play? It's like Cyrano Cole meets Ike Towner, but with a woman lead, and the keyboards are kind of ambient whisperwave. A little bit more reverb. There's some Dolly Crown in there too, like the early stuff before she joined the Sheet Swingers. Better drum programming, though. Whisperwave, got it. I think he gets it, ma'am. Oh, he gets it. A rough brick between two pieces of stale bread sits in the center of the table, surrounded by a ring of undisturbed dust. I still don't get the brick sandwiches. A bulky set of black goggles sit on the edge of the table next to an ashtray, a newspaper, and a few empty glasses. Huh. Who do you think that belongs to? Whoever they are, they're gone now. Must have been pretty tanked to leave it behind. This thing looks expensive. Ezra flips eagerly through the jukebox's catalog of songs. What do you think? I don't know how to play this game. All I'm pouring tonight is Hard Times whiskey. Got any coffee going? No coffee. Hard Times whiskey. Say, shut the goddamn door, would you? I can't afford to run the AC all night. Sorry, Harry. Oh, it's you two. Where have you been? Never mind. Listen, I can't keep this place open through the small hours of the night just waiting for musicians. Where is everyone? Everybody had to, clear out. Let's get set up, huh? There's nobody here to listen to it. I can't pay for... We brought some people, Harry. A crowd is forming. Yeah, but also Don't you want to hear some music, Harry? That does sound nice, after the day I've had. But How's it looking out there? How are you all feeling tonight? Can we get a bit more reverb on the monitors? How's that? Test, test, 1, 1, 1, 3, 50. Lamentation, lamentation. Sounds good. How's everybody doing? Anybody had a real bad night? How about you, old man? Yeah, real bad. We'll try not to make it too much worse. This is a song I heard in a tavern many years ago at an open mic night. Me and Johnny were out just riding around, you know. You like to drive around, old man? It's where I feel. Of course you do. So we were out riding around, and we passed this gaudy old tavern. I mean, it was a real dive. Busted up facade, weeds in the parking lot, taps all dry, bats in the barroom, and run by this creaky bag of bones. Looked like the only thing keeping awake was the fear of death. So glad to be back here at the lower depths. Hey, now. So we stopped for an early drink, and there was a lady singing right here on stage, and the song she sang, well, it stuck with us, and now it's a regular part of our repertoire. Never got that lady's name, but she seemed like a sweet gal, and she had a voice like Scotch whiskey. And we just hoped we do her song justice. So here it is, Too Late to Love You. When you left me, I wish we'd met before. I don't remember that having vocals at all. Well, hope you liked it. I've heard it before. I don't doubt that. You look like you've spent an evening or two in a grimy old tavern. Listen, we appreciate folks sticking around for the show. There's nothing more wretched than playing sad songs to an empty room. We've just got to get our fee from Harry, and then we'll get you headed to the Zero. Well, Harry, I think that went pretty well. I'd say the crowd was into it. Reverential. Rapt. I guess the usual fee is about right, and we'll let you get back to your business. Well, that's just the... Damn it. I was trying to tell you to. I can't pay. They cleaned me out. I've got nothing less but a goddamn IOU from the distillery. An IOU? Yeah, I traded them for some whiskey, and I guess I had some surplus credit, so I got this note to get some more from them later on. Must have been a hell of a trade. I had to. Gotta keep this place open somehow, goddammit. Watch your language, Harry. Could you pay them with your IOU? Well, very contemporary, very astute. How about it, Harry? Let's push some paper around. Well, it's just, I can collect on it here when they bring more whiskey up, but for you to cash it in, you'd have to go down to, you know, down to the distillery, down to Hard Times. You know, you've got to take the Zero. So that's what we'll do. How do we get there? Are you folks sure you want to head down there? I've never been myself, but people hear things, rumors. Do you know another way to Dogwood Drive? Dogwood? Got a letter, did you? I've got a stack of them. Well, okay. Sounds like the Zero's your only course now. Harry, you're all right. If only. You got a radio in your car? Yep. Well, here's what you've got to do. Take a left out of the parking lot, and then just fiddle around on your dial until you hear something familiar but... I mean, familiar but strange. You know the feeling? Like, I used to go hunt with my uncle out in the mountains, and now I watch these nature programs. They're filmed in the mountains, and there's the deer, and I know all the plants and every kind of tree, but something just doesn't look right. And it's even stranger for being so close to familiar, something like that. You'll know it when you hear it. Fix that strange but familiar station on your dial, drive for a bit, and then turn around when the station cuts out. I mean right then. Hope you folks find what you're looking for. Eventually. Always a pleasure, Harry. Is it? Radio. Oh, it's off. I hope. What's this station? I've never heard this before. Sounds like horses. Horses running a race? Lizette and Ira had some horses years back. Yeah, I've always been a little afraid of them. They're so big and, I don't know, you look in their eyes and they're almost human. Like they're human and animal at the same time since they've been domesticated so long, I guess. Well, that fits familiar but strange for me. Harry said we just drive until it cuts out. Remember the Equus gas station? And the horses at the Marquez farm? The horses. Hall of the Mountain King. Guess we're going to the Hall of the Mountain King. Act 3, Scene 4. Hall of the Mountain King. They don't keep the roads up too well, do they? Not down here. Who do you think is responsible? The bridge ends abruptly, crumbling in disrepair. Time to cut him loose, ma'am? Well, now I'm having fun. Heh. Okay. Slow night anyway. A loop of decayed rope is coiled on the banister. Some rotten sections have been smoothed over with the fine dust. Broken computer monitors are heaped precariously among the rocks. A pet carrier for a cat or small dog has been left by the path. A calcified rag wadded in the corner may have once been a blanket. A hiking backpack leans against a rock. It's empty except for a dusty bag of cat food and a few punch cards. A pile of discarded electronics burns steadily at the center of the chamber. Oh, it's triangles within triangles down here. Shifting, intersecting, overlaying. Isn't it romantic? Let's see. You're here to steal back the love of the boy you once knew when you were too young to recognize the movements of the heart. And you're escorting her, pretending to have her interest at heart, while really you're in love with the young woman as well. And so you've agreed to help him conspire to win her affections, but it's just a plot to set him up for embarrassment and diminish him out of the picture. I'm into it. Well, maybe I still have the knack. I used to be really good at this. I had 11 novels published, from The Billionaire's Bidding and to Fields of Longing. Real hot, bodice-ripping stuff, you know? I miss those days in my Lexington studio apartment, just me and my thesaurus, steaming up the windows. I'm not sure you should be listening to this, kid. I'm not listening. But of course it couldn't last. You know, suddenly it was all computers everywhere you went. I thought I might be able to do something about that. Inject a little libido into those ugly beige boxes. Ha. So I went back to the university and studied human-computer interaction, and then I picked up Donald's research assistantship here as a tester, debugging. In my off hours, I played around with the doomed love story at the core of our little simulation. That seemed to amuse Donald, so I kept at it. I'm afraid I tinkered too much, made it too complex. Now our work is never done. We don't even have to add any new functionality. The bugs just grow on their own. Too complex. I miss those days in my Lexington studio apartment. Donald puffs on a smoldering pipe while half mumbling, half singing an old country tune. Where the old green river runs through hills and caves not known to us, down to that sunless sea. Oh, who are you? Sorry, did we startle you? I might say you did. I thought you might be one of them. Oh no, you can't be. We've been patching all their spy holes. We keep the lights dim and the motors running softly, and we route the smoke out through... That is... What were you talking about? You were singing. Oh, you've caught a verse of my absent-minded warbling. It's just a song from my youth. Something a dear friend used to sing to herself as we hacked on crystal radios in the boiler room. In old Kentucky where my love a lovely home did build for me, and where the old green river runs through hills and caves not known to us, down to that sunless sea. From there on, it's all meandering rivers and romantic greenery, and... That is... What were you talking about? What's that computer over there? It looks pretty vintage. It looks like a harmless old computer, doesn't it? Like some beat-up mainframe exhumed from the university basement and left in this cave to rot. Or to flower. Now, it's no ordinary computer. I've modified it extensively and in some pretty experimental ways, believe you me. And that's to say nothing of the software, but... You look like a technically minded sort of person. Tell me, do you know the effects of mold growth on diffuse-based transistor circuitry? The mold would burn up. Exactly. It burns. And oh, the sweet smoke that issues from it. But it also leaves a sticky residue to seep through the machine, forming new connections and creating new circuits. The computer is no longer the pure domain of language or mathematics, but entropy. Thwarted and feeble, we hammer the derelict keyboard. My name is Reason, King of Kings. But we are mere tourists in the ruins. Our keystrokes echo off the tunnels, boundless and bare. The caves stretch far away. We are too late. Always too late. Did you say something? You were about to tell us about the software. Oh, the software. My life's work, Xanadu. You've heard of it? Perhaps you've read about it in a journal. It's been years since I published anything. Xanadu has evolved significantly since I explained its data structures in my article, Literary Multitudes, Hypertextual Narrative, as Post-Structural Witness. Evolved, and then deteriorated. Donald sighs dramatically and takes a puff from his pipe. I'm afraid you are too late, fellow hypertext enthusiast. As the mold accumulated on the circuitry, Xanadu blossomed for a moment into something holy and enchanted, then all the charm was broken. Do you have any idea what it's like to spend your life building something and then sit powerlessly as your work declines into ruin? I drive deliveries for a small antique shop and we're closing down. I fix TVs and I'm about to lose my lease on my workshop. My family disappeared. Julian and me don't know what to do. Not really. Ah. Shuffling around the dusty ghosts of antiquity. Well, I have my own ghosts, and I keep them in here. And I keep them in there, in Xanadu. It's running on that glorious dusty machine. Take a look if you'd like. Too late to do anything but smoke and reminisce anyway. Far too late to do anything. Oh hey, that's me. I didn't know I was in this game. Do you know that when I first... No, I mean, if this cave were larger, could it... Now I'm getting ahead of myself. I've got it. How would you characterize this space, the one we're standing in now? It's a mess. A catastrophe, or the site of some ancient catastrophe. Anyway, sure, the evidence is all around us. The shadows make it hard to tell how big it is. Sure, but they're not just shadows, right? I mean, they're projections, or maybe they're anatomies. How's that? Can you tell me where we are now? Surrounded by creeping anatomies? Close your eyes. Will you close your eyes? Only if you close yours. Okay, okay. I can do it from memory. Good. Now, you are standing at the top of a rocky peak. A tongue of flame licks the shadowy anatomies of... Where are we? Oh, here again. How disappointing. Sorry to disappoint. No, it's my fault. I shouldn't be so attached to the future. It's always getting in the way of my work. Better to be in the moment, carefully observing and documenting with no attachment. Let me give you an example. I was a grad student studying statistics, and I started working with Donald on this project. He said we needed someone with a more analytical mind to do the descriptive writing, someone who would appreciate the cave descriptions as real labor, instead of taking their authorial voice for granted. Donald warned me it would be long hours of typing painstakingly detailed descriptions into the computer, and I put in the hours, believe me, I put in the hours. I have described every facet of this cave in such detail that sometimes I don't know if I'm reading or looking, writing or exploring, often in the dark and lonely moments. I worry that in my sleep I've transcribed rooms from my dreams into the system. How would we know? They could only be entered with precise, faithful detail. That's all I know how to write, and all I dream about is caves. I only dream of caves. Roberta? The kingdom is in peril. Well, what else is new? Where's the kingdom? You're in the throne room. There are 3 legendary treasures hidden throughout the castle that will restore these ruins to their former glory. What do they look like? She's messing with you, kid. Roberta laughs. Enchanted jewelry, talismans, a magic mirror that prevents the future, a magic shield that protects the bearer from age, a magic chest that's always filled with... I never went to the university. I was an independent scholar. It means I took to the public libraries like a beachcomber. I studied fairy tales, and then I came to work for Donald. I paid the bills, rubbed leathering elbows with academics, scraped black mold from cave walls. Finally, now I carry the firewood into senescence. The kingdom is in peril. A massive gate constructed out of scavenged materials blocks passage down the far side of the spire. This lake would drive me crazy. Baffling control panels are sheltered from the elements with a worn tarp. A closet-sized wall of knobs and wires looms behind the machine, humming faintly. An electric typewriter is the only easily recognizable component. How do you think we get it started? This old thing? Maybe there's a hand crank around. Oh, it has a run key. Act 3, Scene 5. Xanadu. Xanadu. At Denavardo. You are standing at the Eid of This thing is in rough shape. Try blowing on it. Conway blows some dust off the keyboard and presses the return key. U accident at T and small ulling U. Okay, that's worse. Try typing help. Help. That's I apologize. In blood bits. You are in kilt, hollow, east-west passage with hues everywhere. Somebody and Lula remove the computer entity, crying on their backs and being sug. That's the rip. Everything's on he. Did that say Lula? Lula. Donald Emedo Inter. I've got the type machine in the side sir part borrowed from the School of Music cell. Tied my voice so we won't type so much. Joseph has slain type punch cards he transcribed for the Redham typewriter, paper, reader, and you've got. How's your luck holding up? I can't tell what she's saying. Oh, I have my portable degausser with me. Old systems like this, one can build up remnant magnetic field that sort of warps everything along whatever pattern it settled into. Degausser clears that up by suddenly shaking the magnetic field around until it's uniform again. That's how I like to think of it anyway, like shaking a snow globe. Worth a shot. Hall of the Mountain King. After what may have been years, you stumble into a tunnel in a cave. Well, okay. Stalactites are in the ceiling, grates of the center of Sononymous Sockspur is where you set up your smin. Premature and defile, press any key to quit. This is a lost cause. What a piece of junk. Act 3, Scene 6. Hall of the Mountain King. Bizarre. And what was that about Lula? Maybe Donald knows how to clear it up a bit. How are you guys doing? While we wait for the game to catch up. Hope you're doing well. I've had a long week. On Monday there was a FAFSA event at the college that I went to. And so I spent most of the afternoon there. And then, what was yesterday? Yesterday we had a meeting in the morning, a staff meeting, talking about what to do about our grant. So it's been a very long week. I'm hoping that I'll be able to hit 20,000 words in my novel tonight after we finish this up. Just gonna try to power through it. So, you've seen for yourself what's left of it. Pretty busted. The chalky bones of a beautiful dream, but you can see what it once was, can't you? Can't you? There was so much more to it, ornate labyrinths of memory, exhaustively simulated parallel cave ecosystems, real artificial intelligence built on sophisticated neural network algorithms. The birds in the forest could flock in 3 dimensions. The bats could learn to sing. And then it began to crumble when the strangers came. At first we only heard them, walking heavily through the caves, dragging things around, hammering and clattering their tools. Sometimes we heard working songs, never close enough to make out real voices, just their echoes cascading wordlessly in the tunnels. Then we caught a glimpse of one. What did they look like? They look like... It's too horrible. I shouldn't be telling you about this. They're dangerous. They're strange. I should never have tried out with them. They were always too much for me, but it's too late now. If I'd listened to Lula, Lula Chamberlain? Yes, of course. Do you know her? We're looking for her now. No, she's gone now. She left. We built this together. Did you know? Lula, Joseph, and I? Lula is gone from here, but still in there, in Xanadu. I don't know where Lula is now, or how to get there from here, or how to unwind that damn tangled highway, but Xanadu, before its ruin, was faultless as an oracle, a shrine to perfect simulation, until, but maybe, those weird interlopers destroyed my Xanadu. Perhaps they know how to fix it. It may be dangerous. I've sent many eager seconds to negotiate with them, to repair my masterpiece. Back there, that tunnel... Push back the vines, crawl out onto the darkness, watch your step. After a while, you'll feel the terrain change beneath your hands and knees, from rock to crystal, and then to mud, and then you'll be out. That's where the strangers come from. Now leave me alone. I still have a bit of mold in my pipe and a few dreams left. Act 3, Scene 7. How long is this fucking act? God damn. Where the strangers come from. Seems normal. No notes. Everything is completely fine. Well, this can't be right. Looks like an old church. Worth a look inside. I guess. I want to stay outside. Why? I think I saw a lizard. I'll stay with them. Okay, we'll make it quick. An epitaph is engraved on the stone grave marker. Greg Land, generous disposition, will be missed. HT8191T, fill date June 29th, notes of almond. Gross. Naswin and Daniel Purdy, we think you two would really have liked each other. HT8192B, fill date July 24th, weird finish. Oh no. Brad Morris. Always had a far-off look. Probably still does. HT8192E. Fill date August 1st. Aftertaste of rainwater. Thomas Miller or Jossie Mellis. HT8192N. Fill date September 8th. Sweet and fungal. Kyle O'Brien would have wanted it this way. Fill date September 9th. Maple turpentine. Matthew Grossman. Should have said something. Fill date November 1st. Sense of foreboding. Unknown. Seemed reasonable. Fill date November 2nd. Easy on the nose. Find any lizards? I wasn't really looking. Nice cover story, kid. Why do you dress like a punk? A punk? Now what's a punk dress like, kid? Can you tell me? I dress like Junebug, specifically. I want to be specific. I think you are. It's the middle of the night and here you are in a graveyard. Any other kid your age would be in bed. You just gotta make choices and own them. You think I was born this foxy? I came off the assembly line about a half foot shorter and all gray. No eyes. They were going to have us clearing out the old mine. Doesn't matter what you look like under all that rock and water. A bunch of gray shadows shoveling and hammering invisibly at the walls, draining the tunnels. Johnny found some gear, an old tape player. We hid away in an underwater cave and listened to it over and over, and we knew we weren't miners. We slipped out onto the road, just these two featureless shadows, and ever since that night we've been detailing, coloring in, specifying. I feel more myself every day. I feel more like myself when it's just me and Julian. Well there, now you're getting specific. There you are. What do you find in there? It wasn't... Hey, what's going on? You look flushed, old man. It doesn't matter. Right. Okay. We got what we need. Let's go. Act 3, Scene 8. Hall of the Mountain King. Trace an orbit round the road, and close your eyes with holy dread, for we on mold and whiskey fed, and drank from rivers down below. We found your strangers. We know how to fix your damn machine, but I'm not sure it was worth it. Oh. Soon the visions will return. What have you found? They say you need to scrape the mold off the timing crystal. But the mold... Of course, too much mold on the timing crystal would send the simulation adrift. Each moment lived out of sync. By all means, yes, clean the timing crystal. So I ordered a bread maker last weekend, and I've made 2 loaves of bread so far. I'm making wheat bread, of course, because of my cholesterol. But the first one came out really good. I enjoyed it. didn't have any didn't have any exaggerated taste, I would say. The second one, for some reason, very salty. And I don't know if I put too much salt into it or if it was because I used a different salt. It was still good, just more salt than I was expecting. So I'm going to try again Saturday, try to get the formula right. Hopefully, can get a good loaf of bread. And I also want to make all-day chili in the slow cooker, so they'll, when we do movie night, we'll have fresh baked bread and slow cooker chili is my plan for Saturday. Do you see anything that looks like a timing crystal? Yeah, right here behind the control panel. It's filthy. Right. We're supposed to scrape off this black moldy stuff. Weird. Just following instructions. Here we go. Xanadu. Act 3, Scene 9. Xanadu. Xanadu. At end of road. You are standing at the end of a road before a small brick building. Around you is a forest. Enter building. Inside building. You are inside a building, a storage shed for the National Park Service. There is a sensible, modern electric lantern nearby. Get the lantern. Taken. Exit building. Enter forest. That's not something you can enter. Just type a direction. North. In forest. You are in open forest with deep valley to one side. Can we climb a tree? I don't think much is to be achieved by that. Sorry. Can we dig a hole? You can't see any such thing. Pretty limited vocabulary. South. You're in forest. Hey, it's a maze. South again. You're in forest. Lula is here, soldering replacement components in a small handmade radio. We should talk to her. Ask Lula how she's doing. Hi, Donald. I'm getting the strangest interference out here. I've been tuning the radio circuits gradually as we go, swapping capacitor values and tweaking resistor networks. It was working for a while, but everything I can pick up sounds so distant and muffled. Lula hands you the radio. Well, maybe you'll have better luck. You're good at this stuff. Just don't forget to give it back. South. You're in forest. Joseph is here, tapping with a small stylus on a modified pocket braille slate. A small gray kitten, no more than a few weeks old, dozes comfortably on top of his backpack. Listen. Donald, I was just transcribing your footsteps. Sounded like... Joseph runs his finger along the index card he's been tapping on, from right to left. Long, weary song, drearily gone, dearly gone. You beat a melancholy shuffle through these woods, Donald, huh? I've been noting down the sounds of the forest with an ear for speech and an inborn filter for poetry. I suppose so. Maybe it's me being melancholy after all. I'm eager to see what the poetic subsystem makes of these punch cards. East. At edge of hole. You are at the edge of a massive hole. The dirt gives way to rock as the ground sinks into darkness. The computer tied to your upper back slickens with sweat in the afternoon sun. The rope slung around your shoulder has slipped under the strap of your backpack, digging uncomfortably against your collarbone. Shine the lamp into the hole. The lamplight only reaches a few yards down the hole, where the rock is coated in a slimy black mold. You can tell that the walls are too slick to climb safely without assistance. Try using the rope to climb down safely. Tie rope to tree. The rope is tied snugly to a tree trunk. Down. Your feet slip a few times on the slimy rock, but you remain stable. Lula and Joseph descend carefully after you. In bed quilt. You are in bed quilts, a long east-west passage with holes everywhere. Joseph and Lula remove the computer equipment they are carrying on their backs and begin setting up. That's the last trip, so everything's down here now. You make an awkward joke. Don't be so morbid. Lula looks pensive. What's the gear they're carrying? Ask Lula about gear. Sure, Donald, we may as well take inventory. I've got the tape machine and the synthesizer parts we borrowed from the School of Music. It's all tuned up to my voice, so we won't have to type so much. Joseph has his slate and the punch cards he's transcribed from the poems we read him. He's got the typewriter and the paper tape reader. And you've got the CRT display. How's your back holding up? Ask her about the cave. Having second thoughts? I don't blame you. It's unsettling down here. Weird acoustics. Earlier, as we were climbing down, I thought I heard voices for a moment. Or, not voices themselves, but the echoes of voices singing some kind of eerie, tuneless working song. I'm glad I'm not down here alone. Joseph looks uncomfortable. Jealous. Hey, Donald, can you help me wire up these generators? I'll assemble the synthesizer, but I could use some help with the serial interface if you have time. You hear an unfamiliar echo from a tunnel to the east. Maybe if we help Lula, she'll have some more to tell us. Help Lula. Thanks, Donald. I can never remember which color lead goes to which pen. Lula begins unpacking a box of wires and terminals. Do you think there are paintings down here? Cave paintings, I mean? Maybe some old pottery shards from when the world was young and early men and women huddled in these caves to... Do you know, I think cultural fossils are the saddest fossils. Sadder than animal remains. I mean, we might come across a petrified mollusk or a partial dinosaur footprint, and we say there was a point of contact here where a body touched the earth, and maybe there's a little bit of evidential garbage, but the life who owned that body never cared and has moved on anyway. And that's the end of it. But suppose I shine my lantern on one of these walls and I see a crude painting thousands of years old, 2 men and a woman, charcoal and blood on rock. Someone put that there to keep something on the rock after she passed, a hope, a relationship, or a moment, a worry, maybe a regret. She made a painting to keep something alive for her, but like that dead mollusk or that itinerant dinosaur, she had to move on. Whatever it was is gone, and now we're looking at this painting, this dangling copy with no original. You're interrupted by the ominous echo of grating, scraping sound from the east, louder than before. What the hell was that? Let's check it out. In tunnels. You rush down the tunnel with Joseph and Lula close behind. That got kind of intense back there. No wonder they're still thinking about it. The tunnel narrows, and soon you find yourself crawling on your hands and knees. Navigating the tunnel gradually becomes more awkward, as smooth rock gives way to jagged crystalline surfaces. Scratches and taps echo from the end of the tunnel, some short and piercing, some slower and groaning as if dampened by water. The tunnel opens into a large room. In Crystal Room. The strangers. You are in a large, irregular chamber. The walls, floors, and ceiling are covered with crystalline projections. Strangers are here, scraping black mold from the crystals. They look up when you enter. One of them seems about to speak. Let's listen to what he says. The stranger reaches for a box he's carrying and presses a plastic button. The box whirs to life, and a crackly voice blurts something unintelligible, then slows to a deep gurgle. He looks at his companions momentarily in confused disappointment. Then he returns his awful gaze to you. Joseph flees through a tunnel to the north. Lula flees through a tunnel to the northeast. Follow Lula. Run north. Lula's headlamp scans across the northern passage as you run. Soft shadows limp perplexingly from floor to ceiling. You feel around to distinguish shadow from crystals, but eventually find yourselves cornered. You have hit a dead end. Who are they? Comfort Lula. You reassure Lula that strangers are homeless. Are you sure? Maybe you're right. It sounds like they've gone back to work. Alright, let's try to pass them quickly now. Don't make eye contact, then we'll find our way back to the equipment. In bed quilts. You are in bed quilts, a long east-west passage with holes everywhere. Lula is here, panting for breath. Did they follow us? Where's Joseph? Search. I only understood you as far as wanting to search. You have to be more specific. Search tunnel. You select a tunnel at random. Your lantern illuminates several sets of footprints on the moldy cave floor, but they are impossible to identify. The various computer and audio equipment casts angular shadows into the tunnels as you scan slowly across the pile. Nothing. Joseph climbs down from the rope still tied above. That damn sound, those damn voices, I don't even know what direction I was running. I wove through that network of tunnels. I ran my hand along the wall, always turning left, but every turn and every rock felt the same. For all I knew, I was running in circles. Finally, I ended up here, and I hid, and I panicked. I heard you talking, but I didn't think I could trust my senses. But listen, there's one thing I have to tell you. While I was out there, lost in the tunnels and caves, I came across a Zero, and I had no idea. It's like a real place. They pick up garbage, they deliver mail, they go to work and to church, but it has an awful kind of emptiness. Wandering through, I heard horrible echoes, weird images got burned into my mind's eye. A television, a scarecrow, a crystal, a feather, a sandwich, a CRT monitor, a bottle, an anchor. Ask Joseph about the Zero. Donald, you've heard the same damn stories I have, but it's different. It doesn't matter now, damn it. I'm leaving. To hell with all of it. Get him back on track. We're so close. Divert Joseph's attention. You shout something at Joseph about a project you're working on together. You'll die in these damn cold caves, and what about those men? You know they'll come back. Tell him we can find somewhere to start a fire. Suggest finding somewhere safe to start a fire. You shout something at Joseph about going deeper into the caves. Did you hear their voices? They're not... They'll find you. But not me. I'm going back to the surface. Stop! Your stupid fight is ringing through the whole damn cave. Joseph is right. We can't stay here. I'm leaving too. But I'm not going back to the surface. I'm taking my station wagon and I'm heading to the Zero. I think we need her to stay. Ask Lula to stay. You plead with Lula about your continued collaboration. I'll send you this tape when I'm done recording. I'll put it in the mail, and then you can see what your damn machine does with it. Lula and Joseph have left. In tunnels. Abandoned by your collaborators, your confidants, your companions, the only two among your colleagues with whom you've ever trusted the gift of your friendship. Pretty thick. Sounds like Beardo has his heart broken. You wander the tunnels alone, dragging along the components of your unrealized masterpiece, combing the underground passages for a new site in which to realize your vision. Sounds like a genius. How do you mean? Vain. Vanity. Ain't it the truth? My aunt Remedios, before she got into the whole ethnomusicography thing, she was a painter, mostly nudes and oil. She had this model. I'll never forget him. Big, classically physical guy. Looked like he was about to storm Troy. He made everyone call him the Colonel. Weaver and I saw this guy naked a lot. You couldn't help it. He was always posing somewhere in the house, chasing the light from room to room, while Aunt Remedios made a sketch of his profile or worked on the right mix of pigments for his abdomen. The Colonel had this magnificent hair, long black hair that ran down just to the bottom of his shoulder blades. One evening, he was standing next to an open window. In the back of the house, the sun was setting, early spring, I think. It was kind of windy. Aunt Remedios was trying to get his hair right. She kept arranging it like half in front and half behind, running it over his shoulder and laying across his chest in this very specific way. But it itched him or something, and he'd do this weird indignant shuffle thing, or the wind from the open window would push it around, or he'd start and turn his neck when Weaver and I ran by, and everything would be tangled again. The final product was a swirl of black lines billowing around the top of his neck. Weird thing is, I don't even remember his face now, just that black swirl. Probably the best one she ever painted. Hall of the Mountain King. After what may have been years, you stumble out of the tunnel into a cavernous open space. Stalactites adorn the ceiling like grotesques. In the center of the room is an enormous, rocky spire. This is where you will set up your equipment and establish your legacy. Meta. Now is the time to continue your work. Research assistance, 0. Realism index, 37%. Romance index, 2%. Mold coverage, 0%. You may hire a new research assistant, assign assistance to a task, or sleep until tomorrow. Hire a new research assistant. Uploading job advertisement to university message boards. You have hired Andrew, who studies statistics. No new applicants. Try again later. Andrew was transcription. Time passes. Andrew summarizes the migratory patterns of bats through the tunnels. Now is the time to continue your work. Research Assistance 1, Realism Index 52%, Romance Index 0%, Mold Coverage 9%. Amy, who studies human computer interaction. Speculation. Amy extensively notates tunnel diameter as a function of length. Andrew posits that nature, not reason, is the master of industry. Greasy black mold is collecting on the computer equipment. Speculation. 1. I already did that. Transcription. 1. And debugging. The strangers are doing something to the equipment, but can't make out what. You hide behind a rock until they leave. With trepidation, you emerge from your hiding place hours later. You did that. Sleep. Weaver follows the strangers into the tunnel. She doesn't return, but neither do they. You, Lula, and Joseph stand in the hallway. The walls are a blank page. It's just after winter quarter, but before spring, so there are no students around. Joseph says something clever, and Lula leans on his shoulder. You wish that instead she had taken your hand, or that there were any other option. Strangers are doing something to the equipment, but you can't make out what. University message boards have been discontinued. Your habit of absentmindedly chipping away at cave crystals and sprinkling their dust in the air behind you has paid off. Just a few feet down one of the tunnels blooms a small but kaleidoscopic garden of crystals. A mail carrier on bicycle brings you a sizable bill from the power company. Smash the computer? Violence isn't the answer to this one. Maybe we have to wait it out? Wait indefinitely. Time passes. Research assistants come and go. You don't encounter the strangers again, but sometimes you can hear the uncanny echoes of their voices off in the tunnels. Years pass. Mold accumulates. You and the remaining research assistants take to burning disused equipment in the center of the room. The black mold is intensely flammable and makes an excellent catalyst. It leaves behind a sweet narcotic perfume. One night you have visitors, outsiders, different ones, then later that night an old friend. Lula, you really did go deeper into the caves. Premature and defile. Press any key to quit. Huh? Act 3, Scene 10. Act Scene. Can you tell I'm tired? Lula. You really did go deeper into the caves. Well, you were easy enough to find. I've met a few of your former assistants. One can't help but hear things. So this is what became of our project. Oh, I've made some additions. Joseph stole the data tapes for the first half, so I've had some blank spots to fill. Yes, I know. He published his version, actually. I'm sorry to report that it's a bit tediously sentimental. We've been looking for you. So, you found the address data. Just pass it over to Donald here. Donald, will you be a dear and crunch these numbers? We're looking to sort out a street name collision. Dogwood Drive. Wasn't the Bureau going to process it? I insist. I have cycles to spare. I'll just pack my pipe and get to it. I should only be an hour or so. Andrew will carry it over to... I'll be at the Bureau for the rest of the night. Just mark it private materials for the attention of Senior Clerk Chamberlain. How do we get to the Bureau from here? The bridge. Yes, the bridge. Through the gate over there. Now we too recede into history. Good night, Donald. Meet me at the Bureau. We'll get you on your way. Head counterclockwise to the cathode ray, then turn around. It's just clockwise until you find the Bureau. Between us, I think you should drive. Do we not talk to Donald again? I guess not. The gate is open. Is this the same backpack we saw before? Wine bottles and library books. Someone has left a portable tape recorder on the path. It doesn't appear damaged, but there's no tape to play or record. A bookshelf was carried only partway up the path here before the project was abandoned. It's still useful. The peak of the spire is crowded anyway. A sensible, modern electric lantern has been left here. The batteries have long since died. Thanks for waiting, Homer. We were gone a bit longer than expected. Ran into some trouble, Homer. I won't lie to you. What happened up there? I'm actually not sure. Very mysterious, ma'am. It's time to go. Was it counterclockwise to the casket? That's clockwise. About a dozen children are gathered in a shallow, dry basin to the side of the road. They are seated on overturned pots and pans arranged in 3 configurations. One group of 5 children are clustered to the right. One group are arranged loosely in the center, all facing an older girl who sits on 3 pans stacked together. The boy at the head of the arrangement looks sternly down on another child. A younger boy kneeled on the stone floor without a pot to sit on. A spare stock pot, perhaps belonging to the younger boy, is set to the side. Ezra seats himself on the right. One of the other children passes Ezra a leaf and a small stick with which to take notes. The older girl takes a wide, brown leaf from the floor next to her and pretends to read off a list of charges. The younger child is accused of making agreements for trading card exchanges, which he was not able to honor. The judge calls a parade of witnesses from middle group to testify about the defendant's behavior and character, and any related contractual breaches. It is time to pass a verdict. Ezra and his fellow jurors are sequestered a few feet away. Not guilty. They agree that the exchanges were not properly documented and the defendant should walk free, but under careful scrutiny. The group of children reconfigure themselves and a new trial begins, with the former defendant now as judge. Is it the rope? Do we need to turn around at the rope? Let's try it. Cat carrier. Backpack. Tape recorder. God. Lost? It's no shame, I'll take over. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Bureau. Oh my god, this act never ends. I'm gonna be in here forever. I have been in Act 3 forever. I'll be in Act 3 forever. Got the time, Homer? Nah, you don't care about that. Maybe I should be more like you. Here you are. Marianne has the rest of the evening off, so I'm minding the desk. Any word on the address? The results just came in by courier. Good news, Donald and his assistants were able to sort through the noise. I had Rick cross-reference the results against some of our records. He found a corresponding mail stop on the Echo River route. As it happens, the night ferry is scheduled to make its stop there shortly. The ferryman carries the mail and collects the garbage as well. I'm sure you can catch a ride out that way. You're welcome to wait here. I have to get back to packing. Are you going somewhere? I might. I'm feeling impulsive, and I'd like to be ready. Maybe back to Mexico. It's been years. They still have one of my sculptures in the museum down there, did you know? Big, ugly iron thing. Time to have it scrapped anyway. Safe travels. Try to stay out of the water. It's colder than it looks, and deep. Can I pet the cat? I cannot pet the cat. Terrible game. 0 out of 10. How long do we have to wait? Oh, who knows? Alright, what happened? Hear that, Cricket? Nothing happened. Slow night. It's okay, you can tell them. It doesn't matter anymore. Fine. So you're in that graveyard. Act 3, Scene 12. Where the strangers come from. Well, this can't be right. Looks like an old church. Worth a look inside. I guess. I want to stay outside. Why? I think I saw a lizard. I'll stay with him. Okay, we'll make it quick. I don't know what I expected. Strangers, he kept saying. Kind of vague already, isn't it? Donald's a stranger. Hell, you and I are practically strangers. Listen, earlier in the mine, I don't want to talk about it, but... What did you find down there? When I saw Weaver, she was on TV. I was testing a pretty simple tube repair, flipping through the channels to check the saturation. She was just there. It was kind of horrible. I mean, I told you she disappeared, suddenly, ran away, but we thought... You thought she was dead. Yeah, I guess I don't like to say it. Dead. And then, the next time I flipped to channel 2, Weaver. It's burned in my vision now. She's standing in a room. The walls are a blank kind of gray. There's tape on the walls, like markings, and desks. A classroom, maybe. Camera's in the corner, so it's this sort of 45-degree angle into the room, and there's Weaver right in the center of the picture. I stopped turning the dial. Hell, I think I stopped breathing. Eventually she spoke, but there was no real sound, just this awful hum. I heard the closed captions. She said to go to the mine. I'd find something there. I can't remember her exact words. Whenever I try to get distracted, fuzzy, It's so dusty in here, right? Yeah, real dusty. You'd think with all the holes in the ceiling. What the hell was that? Did you hear that? We should check outside. We should. Are you guys getting a lot of noise, ambient noise, when I'm not talking? I just noticed that my mic was picking something up. The stranger activates the tape player slung on his shoulder. A crackly drawl echoes in the room. It is patient, and it sounds like it should be smiling. My regrets. I hope I didn't keep you waiting long. We don't see a lot of foot traffic these days. I guess you're here about the job. I'm afraid we only have one opening at the moment. Horrible business. What's this job? Certainly. I'll tell you everything you need to know. I've only just met you, but I feel there's a certain place for you here. I'll just take you over to meet the dispatcher, show you the trucks, get you familiarized. We can converse as you go. What is this place? Some kind of factory? Yeah, maybe, but for what? Why hidden away like this? And what's that smell? Like bread. Baking bread. Please, follow me. I might have to turn my noise gate up if you guys are getting a lot of ambient noise. Oh, I can degauss him. Okay, weird. I have to ask you to step in here a moment. This is for your safety, and adjust your outfits just a little bit. There's some protective headwear up on the wall back there. Please remove your shoes and eyeglasses. I'm not taking off my shoes. Oh, I understand. It's only a courtesy to... Well, do us a favor and put on the headwear anyway, just this way. Wow, check this stuff out. It must be decades old, but it's in perfect condition. You really like old electronics. Yeah, I've got it bad. That's why I got into this business, to keep old stuff like this running. Seems like such a shame to let it fall into ruin, you know? Like that computer back in the cave, Xanadu. Decades of engineering, thousands of years of mathematics and philosophy, all petrified into living stone. How could you just let that fall apart? More new arrivals this evening. Plenty to do. Got to relay the formula. What job are they working? I don't know that it's been settled just yet. You see, sometimes we take on newcomers already in debt to the distillery. One of the foremen will find something for them to do. Chip away at the sum until it is all settled. That's what I am doing here, chipping away. That's what we're all doing. Here's the fleet. Haha. Oh, we just use these to get around internally. How big is this place? Oh, it's grown a great deal over the years. Incredible to think, really. When Mr. Bishop founded this operation, it was only about 1,800 square feet, and half of that or more was occupied by camouflage to keep the law out. hiding out in the back of the old church purifying spirits by handmade fire, a kettle, and a dream. So, the trucks are just east a ways in shipping. You can become acquainted with the dispatcher there. Give me a tap on the shoulder if you see something that catches your eye. Always happy to show off the facilities. Sublime machinery. We could have just walked that. Here it is. Now I have to ask, as a matter of course, what kind of experience do you have driving trucks? I drove deliveries for an antique shop up until this last run. Aha, precious cargo. You'll do just fine. And you can drive safely, can't you? I haven't any doubt. Now, it's only after what happened with Miguel this evening. What happened with Miguel this evening? Well, the dust is still clearing, of course. Perhaps he closed his eyes a moment, or simply hit a curve too devilish. I do pity ill-fated Miguel. He was good company, and slow to anger. But if we're speaking confidentially, well, with all that lost product to be repaid, bourbon and glass dashed across the interstate, and a few casks too, we're all just thankful he had no next of kin. So, let's see if we can ring up the dispatcher. Doolittle starts the truck and switches on the CB radio. A deep, monotonous voice drones from the dashboard speaker. 1020 on that load. Come back. Up in the Hummingbird Cave, 1012, City Kitty. This a good time, dispatch. We may have found Miguel's replacement. Thought you might like to get acquainted. 10-9, come again. Pleased to meet you. Tell dispatch something impressive about yourself. They're very well regarded here. Guess 99 wheel holder. Gotta pay the water bill. Ah, so. I'm certain they'll call back before long. Let's take a look around the truck, eh? Looks like it's just about ready to go. We have some good, strong folks in shipping here, so you never need to worry about loading if you don't want to. Bit hard on the knees and back at our age, eh? Of course, you'll have to unload at the destination, but that's the job. And some drivers like the extra shift stacking and loading here. I shouldn't really do any lifting these days. I see. Well, surely we can spare a dolly and carrying strap for your health and safety. Sounds like a lot of work around here. It's in our interest, friend. After all, we must meet our financial obligations. Control the wipers with this knob here. They seem to have a decent torque to them, eh? Can't say how they'd fare in an ice storm, but we must never delay a shipment. Better to assume the risk. You folks watch the weather closely? I wouldn't know it if I saw it. Too many years of climate control. Have I mentioned I rarely, if ever, leave our facility? I wouldn't know the rain if it drowned me. I'm sure the wipers are fine. Of course, what else? Oh, sure. I know you'll want to look. Kick the tires. That's the thing we do, isn't it? As though our knees could exert the kind of force these tires see out there on the road, we're more likely to hurt ourselves. Isn't it the way, eh? Tires look fine. Oh, I'm sure. It wasn't the tires that failed our dear Miguel, we are quite sure. What kind of man was Miguel? As I always say of him, he was good company. Many of us have found ourselves in his position, arrogantly grasping at personal sovereignty when our lives have become unmanageable. There's no shame in it, only condolence. Now, what else can we show you? I was wondering if the alternate text with Conway might tell a story, but it seems to be just memories. So he woke up in a bale of hay, they stole the car during the rainstorm, he sat in a dark room. That's important. Most of our product goes out at night. You never know who you'll run into in the daylight, and dusk can be treacherously misleading with all that indirect light. The magic hour, eh? Drivers sleep in the day, then? Sure, those that sleep. Miguel pulled extra day shifts when he could. Sometimes he'd help me, you know, sometimes over in bottling. He shouldn't have been out driving at dusk. Weird shadows, soft light, dangerous. Conway had to get off the highway. Too loud, too murky. Headlights look pretty okay. That they do. Moving on. The truck's radio crackles back to life. Driver, come back. Ah, there's dispatch. Now tell them about your experience. Tell them the truck's in good shape. Tell them you'll start driving. You'll start in the morning. I've been driving for a number of years. Decades, dispatch. 10:33, dispatch. Got 2 black eyes and a flock of crocodiles. Come back. 10-4, back it down and prick your eyelids, driver. Come back, Lem. 10-4. Come back, wheel holder. 10-4. Got your ears on? Good. Listen to this. So, I think that went well. Let's head back up to logistics and seal the deal, eh? I've got one more thing to show you. I didn't realize that this chapter was going to be as long as it is. We might only do one chapter tonight. Let's head back upstairs, eh? I have one more thing to show you. Wait, we only came here looking for some answers about the stupid moldy computer. Oh, the old man in the cave with the moldy computer. That black mold, it's drawn to whiskey. It feeds on ethanol fumes. You see, as we age the whiskey, some of it inevitably evaporates into the air. The angel share. It goes through the vents here and out into the caves. If we can scrape up that mold, we can usually apply some pressure and cold to it, squeeze and condense the angel share back into a drinkable whiskey. Every drop counts when you're making a living on this stuff. So we'd go down and scrape it off his equipment, just like any other place it grows. He kept sending his people here to drive us away. Paranoid. Truly paranoid. Well, now we have the formula, so we don't need to go collecting mold. Since we stopped going down there, I'm sure the mold's gotten pretty thick. Try cleaning off the timing crystal. That'll get you going, I'm sure of it. So, join me upstairs? If you don't mind. Here it is, a beauty, wouldn't you say? It's an antique, you know. What is it? Why, it's an adding machine. This is where we come for our daily ritual, to calculate the day's interest and repayment according to the formula. I usually do so at the beginning of my shift, so I know how many hours I need in order to keep up. I believe you'll do well here, sir. Happy to have you. Congratulations. You're hired. Wait, we can't. It's customary here to start off each day with a shift drink. Let's make it special. Mark the occasion. This is the top shelf stuff. Now, single barrel. He doesn't. Down the hatch. Vina memoria mor. Decent enough. Welcome aboard. He's not working for you. We have to get back to this. He has a delivery to make. What's this? Not working? Are you turning down this opportunity? She's right. I have to make this, I'm disappointed, and I'm afraid that leaves us with a delicate problem. As I indicated, this is the top-shelf stuff you're drinking now. It isn't cheap. If it's not your first shift drink, well, and there's a matter of the tour just now, my time and experience are billed at quite a premium. This is not good for you, my friend. You're in quite deep, by my back-of-the-envelope estimations. Well, we have that in common, I suppose, all of us. Yes, I'm afraid you'll have to work this off somehow. It's just the way of it. What's happening right now? You can start tomorrow. Take the time to settle your affairs, of course. The interest begins to compound immediately, and, well, we'll go over the formula when you get here. I should get back to work. See you tomorrow, then. So I guess I start in the morning. I guess. I'm confused. It's just the way these things go, kid. Huh. Well, that still gives us a few hours to roam, right? Where's that ferry? Can this end? Thank you. Thank you. I wish you'd done that an hour and a half ago. Achievement unlocked, Act 3. Alright, so we have 2 more acts. And it looks like we might have a couple intermissions as well. But I am going to end there. Let's get out of here. Alright. So. What day is it? So, next week, I'll probably do Act 4, and whatever the intermission is before Act 4. I'm assuming that it'll probably be about 3-ish hours, because this one was about 3-ish hours. If it is shorter, if it's an hour and a half, we might go through and try to do both Acts 4 and 5. If it depends on how long they are. I'd like to get the entire thing done before I go to Texas for Thanksgiving. But if I can't, then we'll just finish up the last act whenever I get back. But I hope you guys enjoyed. That was my first time, I think, seeing the end of that. I got a Steam achievement for it, and I don't know if the Steam achievement just didn't exist when I played it before, or if I never finished it. It's possible that I just never finished it. But I do remember a lot of that chapter, so maybe I played through it a long time ago before they had Steam achievements. I don't know. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the musical part. That was my favorite part. I did like Xanadu. I remember being really captured by the idea when I first saw it. I did like Lulu and Donald's reunion. I thought that was cool. There were a lot of really cool crossovers in this act, where things that had come up in previous acts came up again. We got to actually see a little bit of Lulu's backstory, a little bit of Donald's backstory, a little bit of Weaver when she was at college, all that cool stuff that they brought back from previous acts. So I really enjoyed that part, that aspect of it. When I said last week I remembered it being spacier, that's a little bit more what I was remembering, is a little bit of Act 3 where, like, you know, you go through this thing and then there's something random. The fairy comes and there's a mammoth. The Junebug begins singing and the bar splits apart with the sky and all of that cool stuff. That's a little bit more what I was remembering from when I had played it so many years ago. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next week with Act 4 and whatever the intermission is, and maybe Act 5 if it's not too long. All right. I hope you guys have a good week. I love you, and I will see you next week.